London, Voice of America, and across from me is a true music superstar. She's beautiful. She's loved around the world. Sheryl Crow, welcome to the Voice of America.
Thank you. What a nice introduction.
Well deserved. Congratulations. 7 albums, the new album, 100 Miles from Memphis. And I guess the reason you chose that name is because of the difference in distance between where you were growing up and Nashville. Why the connection to Nashville?
Well, actually, it is. It refers to my hometown, which is 100 miles from Memphis. My hometown is Kennett, Missouri, where I grew up, and it's about 106 miles, and Memphis was the big city. Had never been to Nashville yet, even. So the album is really, truly connected to the music that came out of Memphis and my relationship to Memphis, it being the big city and being a kid and not traveling that much. There was quite a mystique about Memphis, and hearing Memphis radio stations playing the music that was born of Memphis is really what the album is about.
Now, the tour right now, I understand you have a different band than you have toured with historically. And the whole thing is a different vibe. It's a funk vibe now?
It's definitely funkier for sure, and we do a lot of the hits. So people, when they come out, they'll know a lot of songs, but they have new life breathed into them. And the album is, I mean, the touring band is made up of the guys who played on the record, and it is just fantastic. The best musicians I've ever heard, ever played with, and every night is a new night, different renditions, and it's just been a really great tour. People on their feet from the very beginning to the very end, which is unusual when you're playing so many new songs. We really cover the new record pretty well.
And you also, I guess during the show, you do a little tribute to Michael Jackson, who was a large part of your career.
Yeah, he was. He gave me my first real gig in 1988. I toured with him on the Bad Tour for a couple of years, and the bonus track on the record is "I Want You Back," which was we kind of just fell into it after recording a song by Marvin Gaye, and so it was kind of a happy accident that it wound up getting recorded in the first place.
Now, going through all the things you've gone through, the awards you've won, 9 Grammy Awards, and the millions and millions of records sold, what would Sheryl Crow today tell Sheryl Crow back in the early 90s when she started? Any advice that you would give?
Get more rest, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's funny because when you first start out, you think that you can't say no to anything. You know, you feel like this could be my last job. I've got to do every interview that comes along and every show, and it's very, very exhausting. And the early days were not actually probably as enjoyable as the days are now for me, because now I'm able to sort of have an overview about what's important and what's not, and part of that's just being older, and part of it's having been around for a long time. But you know, all that being said, the music business is a lot different than when I got started, so hard to say what kind of advice I'd give to somebody starting out now.
Well, you look well rested for somebody who's got a 5-month-old.
I know, right? We were lucky. We've been in New York for the last couple of days. We played and we did a couple press days, so I got to sleep in a bed. That makes a difference.
And I understand that the new album has allowed you, because you're now a mom, some creative freedoms that you didn't have before, kind of new inspiration, new energies, you brought because of your motherhood.
Yeah,
it's a change. A change would do you good.
Yeah, a change would do you good. Kids definitely kind of redirect the picture for sure, and then obviously whatever happens in your life informs your art. So this album is definitely a more emotional album. It's definitely more about vulnerability and desire, and it's more typically kind of a soul kind of record, very singable songs. The last record was much more political, and it was also much more probably personal due to the fact that I just had cancer treatment, and we just gone to war, and there were all kinds of things that were, for me, important to address.
Well, the people around the world want to know how you're doing. How is everything?
I'm great. I'm coming up on 5 years, and time is just flying by so fast. But yeah, I'm great.
And you did the Revlon Walk for Cancer, the Stand for Cancer. You're very
done a lot of cancer work, and interestingly enough, I did a ton of cancer work before I got diagnosed. And was very well connected in the cancer community and the fundraising community for cancer, and then I wound up being diagnosed, and it is a shocker, but when you consider that 1 out of 7 women are diagnosed with breast cancer, the odds were pretty good that I was going to have it.
Well, it's
So.
wonderful that you give so much back to people, that you use your fame in such a positive way, and you carry such a positive message that helps a lot of people around the world.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and you did a CD, you participated in a CD for Congo.
Yeah.
And so you've done so much charity work. It's amazing that you find time between motherhood, recording, touring, and everything to put it all together.
I think well, for me, the busier I am, the more I get done. I'm better when I'm busy about scheduling things and getting things done. But I think, like everybody that I know, whether you're well known or you're not, you see things that really move you and that concern you, and you want to be a part of the solution as opposed to turning a blind eye. So there's so many things out there that need people's energy and attention, and you just do what you do.
What's your favorite part of the business? I mean, you act, you sing, you write songs.
Well, I love singing. I mean, definitely, I love singing and playing. And I love doing the sort of behind the scenes work, the work that will mean something to somebody else. There's nothing more gratifying than being a part of helping a situation, helping somebody, and I do enjoy that.
Got an email from a member of the military who is in Afghanistan now, wanted me to ask the question, when did you realize that you had something, that you had this gift? Now, of course, you grew up in a musical family, but when did you realize, I got it?
I don't know. I mean, there wasn't like an aha moment for me. I just kept working and kept working. As a kid, I studied piano, I went to college, I got my degree in it, I sang in bands, always sang in bands. Moved to LA, got a lot of work as a backup singer, and I just always stayed busy and stayed in the process, which is kind of what kept me out of, thinking that I could tamper with the results, And then one day I realized I was making my living doing something that I'd always loved, and that it suddenly I was there. There wasn't really I'm famous, or I'm whatever. It just seemed like it was part of the work process. So.
The new album, 100 Miles from Memphis, Summer Days, the new single.
Yes.
What are your favorite songs on the album? What should we be
I
looking
love that song, and I actually really love, we're getting ready to release Sign Your Name, which is an old Terrence Trent D'Arby song, and Justin Timberlake is on it, and I love the song, I love that version of it. It's really, really fun to sing. And then there's another song that I absolutely love that I did not write. It was by Citizen Cope, who's actually from this area, and called Sideways, and it's just a song I've always loved, and I had a great time having him come in the studio and sing it with me.
What are you going to do after the tour ends?
Is the tour ending?
It probably never does. When
No
you're a
one's told me
musician,
that.
it never ends. But
That's
the holidays are coming up.
Yeah, well, we're going to do a little more recording and put out a volume 2 in the spring. So.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Any acting plans?
No acting plans, no.
What about things that you'd like to do in the future on your to-do list? You put out a lot of great music, a lot of great albums, won a lot of awards, sold millions. But what's in the back of your mind, Sheryl Crow wants to do? I mean, a holiday album, something like that, is there?
We actually did a holiday album last year, and it was really, really fun. I worked with my old producer, Bill Bottrell, and loved the way it turned out. And I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but I don't have a big to-do list. I kind of just like to be in what I'm doing. I've always been interested in doing some scoring, which I might do eventually, and there are a lot of things outside of music that I'm very deeply involved in right now. I'm involved in trying to stop the mountaintop mining that's going on in Tennessee before we destroy the Appalachian Mountains. So, I feel like there's a lot of work to be done, and I do enjoy that. So, outside of that, I haven't really created any sort of roadmap yet for where I'm going.
Got the boys on tour with you?
Boys are on tour, yes. They're around here somewhere. You'll know when they're in the hallways. They're loud.
I want to give you a chance to say hi to the troops who are watching and listening right now and love the music of Sheryl Crow. So.
Yeah. Should I look at the camera?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, I want to say hello to all the great women and men who are out there fighting the great fight for us to continue with our freedom here in America. And I'm very proud of you, and I hope to see you all home very soon. And God bless you.
Thank you, Sheryl Crow.
Thank you.
Can I get a couple IDs
Sure.
before you leave?
Yeah.
The first one is just look at the camera and you're watching The Voice of America.
Okay.
I'm Sheryl Crow, you're watching.
Hi, I'm Sheryl Crow, and you're watching The Voice of America.
Perfect. And a couple for radio when you're listening to my name. You can give me a
Larry
hard
London.
time if you want.
It's Voice of America.
Yeah, or you're listening to Larry London.
Yeah. Hi, this is Sheryl Crow, and you're listening to Larry London. Hi, this is Sheryl Cohen. You're listening to Larry London on Voice of America.